Hi guys, Greg at Best Race Trailers. Today we're going to take a walk around the 7x18, 7,000 pound Trac wood deck car hauler. Everything seen here is all standard equipment. 2-axle brakes are standard, as well as everything else we're going to take a look at. So let's take a walk around this. We'll start out up front. It does have a 2 5/16 inch stamped coupler. Pretty standard. Most all 7,000 pound and up trailers generally do have the 2 5/16. You'll notice instead of a typical A-frame jack, it's got a setback jack. Instead of an A-frame, it's also got the triple tube tongue reinforcement going down the center. It gives you some extra stability. And then in particular, the setback jack's going to keep from interrupting your truck tailgate. So if you put it down, it's not going to mess up your gate. It's also got a fully sealed wiring harness. It's got a standard 7-pin blade style, typical in most all current pickup trucks. This one is the first I've actually seen that. It's got color codes actually built into the end. Neat idea. It's also got an integrated plug holder, keep it up out of the mud. You also notice a neat little design on these. They put the chain holders built into that setback jack. And also it's a zinc jack, not the traditional painted. Gives it a little bit more longevity, keep it from rusting. Safety breakaway is standard equipment, of course. Breakaway cables on the driver's side, and then your battery box back out of the way. If you do want to put something like a toolbox on, they make a toolbox that'll fit right in that area, still be out of the way of the breakaway. Nice wide low profile box sits right underneath the jack handle. Just recommendation if you're looking for places to store stuff. This also has the newer style bullet LED lights. Good looking design, also gives a lot of output. So one thing we like on Trac, it's got D-rings and it's got stake pocket tie downs. It's got a fair amount of tie downs on this. One thing we like about the D-ring placement though, some of the manufacturers put the D-rings right next to a stake pocket, which isn't really the best idea. They got them set up. D-rings are ideal for a car if you were gonna strap the car down, and then the stake pocket's more for general freight, or if you were gonna use a O-ring strap and tie off to the side for a car, you could certainly do that. So you got a couple different options there. You'll notice this is a channel tongue and a channel frame. Occasionally we do see manufacturers use an angle iron frame. This is channel, a little bit nicer there. Also wraps all the way back to the spring hangers. So it's a full wrap tongue. Take a close up here. You'll see between the tongue and the main frame, they silicone those joints. Try to keep rust out of your most critical areas on the trailer. Trailer is also powder coated. They do a nice blast and prep, and then it does get top coated with the powder. You'll notice that the fender is supported at the front side by a fender gusset, and then also this is a double broke fender, not your traditional smooth radius fender. So tread plates are normally a little bit heavier, and then also the double broke, those extra bends make it a nice rigid trailer, something normally a little heavier than you'd see on an average car trailer. So this does have brakes on both axles. They are the newer forward adjusting style, or what some will call the self-adjust. If you're not familiar with those, they basically self-forward just like a car. So throughout the life of the pad, very minimal maintenance. 205/75 R15, that's a load range C 6-ply radial tire, standard equipment. Wheel on this is going to be a 15-inch silver wagon wheel. And you notice the green cap, that is a nitrogen-filled tire. Nitrogen has a few benefits, one of which it would minimize the moisture inside the tire, unlike an air-filled tire. They say that does help over time with keeping the tire from dry rotting from the inside, not just the outside. It does have the Easy Lube hubs, if you're not familiar, behind that black cap. Sometimes you can pry them with your finger. Today it's right around a little above freezing, probably not going to come off there with just my finger, but you can take a flat-bladed screwdriver. You can peel those off behind there. There's a grease zert. You can do your own bearing maintenance, fairly simple to do so. This trailer is equipped with a Beavertail. It's 2 foot, does have the tread plate cover, not the traditional wood. Certainly nice if you have something like a car header or similar that wants to catch on a tread plate. It's going to slide and not drag quite like it would on steel. Also gives it a nice clean look. So on this being an 18 foot, you're going to have 16 foot of wood flat, and then you're going to have a 2 foot dovetail. So one of the things we really like about the Trac would be the rear of the trailer. They do a nice job. They got the LED lights, the bullets, all that's nice, but particularly we like how they do the Beavertail with the tread plate, the finger jointed ramps, which I'll show you in a second, and then the punch-plated ramps with the knife edge. A lot to like on the ramp setup. Definitely our most user-friendly of our plants. I'm going to try to do this one hand just to kind of show you how light and how easy these are. So being punch plate, a little bit lighter than some. I'm not a real big guy. I was able to do that with one hand. It's a heavy enough built ramp to do what it's supposed to do, but again, nice ramp setup. Notice it's tapered at the back in a nice low approach angle. It's finger jointed. Finger joint would keep it from sliding side to side or forward and back. And then again, get excellent traction going up the punch plate. So to give you an idea, a trailer like this is going to weigh in at about 1,900 to 2,000 pounds roughly. It's going to give you a net legal payload of about 5,000 pounds plus your tongue weight that's transferred to the truck side via the ball. So it is a 2x6 pressure treated decking. This has a traditional eye-to-eye suspension as would be found on most of your 7K trailers. One thing not always found on trailers in this class would be a spare tire mount. On the passenger side in front of the fender, you got a nice spot to mount a spare. You can also put one off the headache rack if you want into the A-frame, but they keep that position open if somebody does want a toolbox. So the passenger side there is generally your best spot to put that. Powder coated tough, again we said it is a powder coated trailer, has the front bulkhead. I didn't show you underneath, but it is a sealed harness. It also uses a 2x2 tube cross member on the floor, not your traditional angle iron. A little bit heavier by capacity. Tube will support more than angle. Not a whole lot heavier by weight, because tube gives you the most strength per pound on the cross member. So a little bit heavier, but gives you a lot more capacity. This is available in other sizes. We occasionally stock them in 16, sometimes 20 footers. Oftentimes we get UTV guys in 20s. Certainly if you had a 20 and you wanted to do a truck or similar, we'd recommend you go to a 10,000 GVW. But again, 18 ideal for cars, 20 ideal for UTVs, 16's ideal for your shorter Mazda Miata style, shorter cars. We do also carry these in a 20-foot length. Normally we do those 2 foot longer, so a 7x20 10K, 7x18 7K would be your two most common. This is available as well on a steel floor, whole different model, entirely different specs, but we do carry the steel floors. We also have manual and power tilts. If you have any questions on this or any of our other trailers, feel free to give us a ring, 717-220-4220, or you can visit us on the web at bestchoicetrailers.com. Thanks.